This is the new C-Scope CSM2X, just released, and we're going to have a quick look at it today, and we'll run it on a few different targets and see can we conjure up anything decent, and we'll have a quick look at it now. It's the first of a kind of a rebrand for C-Scope, really, because they're after changing their entire marketing strategy, and they've introduced new models, they've improved these models, and they also have a nice range of accessories in shaft systems, headphones and new coils. So there's something for everybody with this new C-Scope 2MX. They're really after changing things from the way they used to be. They're much more ergonomic now, and they've switched to this type of hard plastic control box, and the shaft system is very, very solid, and we have an 8-inch concentric coil, and power is by 8 batteries in the compartment here, and you have 4 screws here that will actually form a fairly water resistant bond. Operation is quite easy. We have 2 controls. We have sensitivity. Now then we have all metal here, and we have our discrimination range. Now, field testing, I found that I wouldn't operate it beyond 3.5 to 4 for the risk of losing small thin items. And then we have our pinpoint button. Now what I'm going to do here is run the 2MX on a fairly trashy spot, and we'll just see what it sounds like. It's not happening here. You can hear the chuk sound as it discriminates out. Got a nice repeatable 2-way signal here now. So I'll turn up my discrimination to see where it drops off. This is a little good trick you can use. You can actually increase your discrimination with your thumb, and it's staying with me at 8. So that would verify then that the signal is definitely non-ferrous. So reduce your discrimination back down again just before you forget it, after you dig out the object. So we'll pinpoint that. We'll press our pinpoint here. And it seems to be a fairly shallow, because I'm getting the pinpoint reaction up here. That's about 2 to 3 inches off the surface. Now before I recover this target, I'm just going to see can I find it with the pinpointer here, so I'm not getting any reaction. So therefore it's probably a bit deeper. So I'll put this aside here a while, and we'll make a little incision. Bend the flat back. So I'll use the pinpointer again. So it's reacting at a few inches down. So what I need to do now, I need to get my drop cloth here and scoop out some more material. Always looking. It's heavy. It looks like a wheel of some kind, probably off some gardening implement, but it's very heavy, it's very thick. It feels like lead, but I don't think it is. But anyway, so both detectors actually proved to be very, very good there. Now we'll take our dirt and we'll fill it in. Just give it a quick rub there. Any loose bits, and bend the flap back there and stand. Today I'm in one of my regular test sites. It's a big field of stubble, and it's early spring, so it was very wet, so now it's after drying up. So what I'm after doing is I'm after setting up the 2MX with just a modicum of discrimination, just at 5 to take care of any iron, and my sensitivity is over at about 8. So let's have a look. It is. It's a button. The ubiquitous button. Well done on the first find for today. Getting another nice hit here now. And turn up the discrimination again. Just to around 8. So it's staying with me, which means that it's probably something non-ferrous. Right on top of it there, and it seems to be very shallow, so we're going to dig it just here. So let's go in with a little shallow incision to turf it back there. See, can we see anything? Should be out. Yes, it is. And again, it's in my hand. I have it here. Turn that off. Now this is something very small actually. Look at the size of this now. It is a tiny button, but look at the size of it. This C-scope is at 17 kilohertz. It's really good for small, thin items. Occasionally you're going to dig a bit more iron because of the high frequency bias, but this is a nice find. That could be classic nail or a piece of wire. So let's pinpoint it. Hard to establish where it is. It's a classic wire signal because it's spooling around, like the eddy current is flowing around. So I think we'll investigate it because it could be something very, very small. So if we don't dig it, we'll never know. And that signal turned out not to be a piece of wire, but in actual fact it's a hot rock. And it's heavy. So there you go. Now this is the first time today that I've actually dug coal and hot rocks in this particular field, because it is normally every other target is a non-ferrous, either a button, a coin, or a buckle, or a bullet, or something like that. So another lesson learned: how to recognize coke with the C-scope 2MX. You get that wide double blip with no real pinpoint. After switching to a grass field here now, it's kind of like a football bank, and we have a definite non-ferrous hit there. Just pinpoint that. So let's, that's what I was expecting, either a coin or a screw cap. Getting a narrower signal here now, narrower than junk. Sharper. So try and shrink my pinpoint area. Poking away here now, and I'm actually seeing something. There's a, it looks like a coin to me. Looks like an old decimal penny. I hope you found this short video on the new CS2MX of interest, and as always, thanks for watching.